Konami has just announced 3 more extra deck monsters for the upcoming core set, Blazing Dominion, and we are just mere weeks away from the official OCG release of Blazing Dominion. However, we are mere days away from the official TCG release of Burst Protocol, which I believe this Sunday, because that I am going to be heading over to Bear Cave this coming Sunday. It seems like Bear Cave might be doing a case tournament for Burst Protocol, so it seems like those who are playing Edison, myself included, are probably going to be moving to a different location at Bear Cave for our Edison tournament, but that is neither here nor there. 3 extra deck monsters have been announced for Blazing Dominion, which include 2 Link monsters and a brand new Xyz monster. And honestly, I'm super excited because there's really because right now we're looking at a format where Red Dragon Archfiend could potentially make its way into the meta with all the new support that it got, which included several brand new synchro monsters and several new tuners as well. So it's gonna be interesting to see what we can expect out of Blazing Dominion. I'm honestly looking to build Red Dragon Archfiend just because of the fact that the deck is so unique, it's so versatile, and it can really do a lot of damage depending on what your opening hand looks like. So it'll be interesting, but I'm very curious of what decks we can expect to see in this current format post ban list. But without any further ado, let's get straight into it. Again, only 3 cards for today's video. So the first one up is Cherubidam, Iris Feel. And honestly, I'm looking at this artwork. This is probably by far one of the most majestic and one of the most badass artworks we've seen thus far out of the set. 100% absolutely gorgeous. And it is a rank 8 Light Fairy Xyz with 800 attack, 2500 defense, and it requires 2 level 8 monsters. So pretty generic. Says here, once per turn, you can also Xyz summon this card by using one Xyz monster you control that has not activated its effect in the monster zone this turn. Transfer its materials to this card. Okay, so just that alone, right? Just that alone. If you have, like, let's say, what's a good example? What's a good example? So hypothetically speaking, so let's just say, right, hypothetically speaking, let's say that you decided to summon this guy out right off the bat. Let's just say that, right? If you summoned this guy out, which is number S37 Spider Shark, if you summon him out and you never got to use any of its effects whatsoever, you can overlay Spider Shark into Cherubidam without any issues whatsoever, which is kind of insane. Kind of insane. The only thing, the only thing is that you can't use that Xyz monster's effect. So if you do have an Xyz monster and you never used its effect, you can rank it up into Iris Feel, and its effects could be interesting. So let's check it out. The first effect reads: if this card is Xyz summon, you can activate this effect. This turn. Xyz monsters you control will gain attack equal to their own rank times 100 during the battle phase only. Second effect reads, if this card would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can detach a material from your monsters instead. Okay, so interestingly enough, you can actually use this in pretty much any deck in any Xyz heavy base deck, which includes Utopia. You can use it in Sharks, but for the most part, you're gonna end up using this in Galaxy Eyes because of the fact that it's a way to oh, what's the trying to think. I might have it in here because this is that deck box has my Galaxy Eyes deck, so I need to see. I guess maybe Photon Lord would probably be the card that you would want to summon and then use it to go into that guy. I'm assuming that'll probably be the case. I'm not so sure. I'm assuming that could be it. But still, it's a good way to ensure that that you can push for lethal. So if you have, let's say, number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon, plus this guy on board, and let's say 2 other Xyz monsters, you're gonna have yourself a very beefy Prime Photon Dragon because Prime Photon essentially can deal a shit ton of damage, and it literally is a game changer. So this card can be really busted in Galaxy Eyes, which is pretty cool. You could also use it by you can also as well. Konami even also suggests combining this card with Galaxy Eyes Anti-Matter Dragon, which I think did I talk about that on the channel? I don't. Chaos number 95. Galaxy Eyes Anti-Matter Dragon. Did I ever talk about this card on the channel? No, I don't think I did. I'm gonna have to look up the name. I'm gonna have to look up the name because I don't think I ever talked about it. Let me look it up. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. C95. Let's see. Maybe I did? I don't remember talking about this card on the channel. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I do. Maybe I do remember. It's kind of hard to remember, but there's the artwork. I think I remember talking about it on the channel before. But if I didn't, I'll talk about it now. Rank 9 Light Dragon Xyz, 4,000 attack, 0 defense, and acquires 2 level 9 monsters, and the effects read as followed. Once per turn, you can also exceed some of this card by using an Xyz monster you control with 3 or more materials. Transfer its materials. Any battle damage this card with material inflicts to your opponent is halved. You can detach a material from this card. This card gains the ability this turn to make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. Then, if the detached material was a monster, you can send a monster with the same name type from your deck to the graveyard. So funny thing is that this actually is pretty good because this can deal a shit ton of damage. And again, if your end board going set if you're going second, right, and your end board is this card plus the new Xyz monster, Cherub Beedam, and I'll say Neo Tachyon, and we'll say number 62. If that's your end board, then number 62's attack is going to be very beefy because it'll gain extra attack with its own effect, which is absolutely nasty. It is as nasty as it gets. This card is a game changer for Galaxy Eyes. Excuse me. So I can honestly say that we could be looking at a format where, again, as I said, Galaxy Eyes, Red Dragon Archfiend, all these different decks that I've talked about that are coming out of the set could potentially make their way into the meta, but I highly doubt it because of the fact that Yummy Mitsurugi is still in the format. Raziel Mitsurugi is still in the format. Monarch Mitsurugi is still in the format. Draco Tail is still in the format because all those decks, they can still do a lot of shit. Even without the fusion spells, without Herald of the Arclight, without those cards, those decks can still do a lot of damage to the meta. So Konami really didn't do a lot with this ban list. What they should have done is they should have banned Yummy Surprise. They should have banned Yummy Surprise, and the Yummy deck would have just died right then and there. But it is what it is. Next up are the Link monsters. So the first one up is Lahamu, the Messenger of Sacred Scripture. And honestly, it's actually kind of cute. The artwork looks super cute. I got to admit, it is really cute artwork. Love the design of it though. Love it. Let's see here. Link 2. Let's see here. Dark Fairy Link 2, 1400 attack, and its arrows are left and bottom right, and acquires 2 effect monsters. So pretty generic. Let's see here. All 3 of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads: once while this Link summon card is face up on the field, you can normal summon a level 5 or higher monster without tributing. Second effect reads: during the main phase as a quick effect, you can activate this effect. Immediately after it resolves, normal summon a level 5 or higher dark monster. Third effect reads: during your end phase, you can reveal any number of monsters in your hand and place them on the bottom of the deck in any order, then draw that many cards. Okay, so here's the crazy thing about this card, right? You can use this card in pretty much any dark-based deck that uses up a lot of high-level monsters. Dark Lords are definitely one of them. Archfiends is another. Dark Magician is another one. Red Eyes is another one, and even also Dark World, because you can actually use up a lot of you can use this card to normal summon like a card like, let's say, Silva, and you'd be able to do a bunch of shit with it. Now, while it is true that yes, Dark Worlds require their effects to be activated in the graveyard, you can still use the normal summon to pretty much overwhelm the opponent and go into synchros, depending on how you build Dark World. But this is really good in so many different dark based decks. Dark Lord is definitely going to be like one of the main decks that will probably want to use up this card. Even also, what's the other one? Was it Infernoids? No, I think Infernoids are fire attribute. I think the Infernoids are fire attribute. So I think Dark Lords is probably going to be the main one you're going to want to use this card in. But that brings us to the final card of today's video, and it is known as Breach Boral Dragon. Try saying that 7 times fast. Breach Boral Dragon. Get rid of that. Get rid of that ad. There's the artwork again. And it is a dark dragon Link 2 with 1200 attack. And its arrows are bottom left and bottom, and requires 2 dark dragons, including a rocket monster. So this is basically rocket support, if you will. Both of its effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads: if this card is Link summoned, you can add 1 Boral spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Second effect reads as a quick effect: you can target a dark monster you control. It gains 500 attack, or if that monster is no longer on the field, you can special summon a rocket monster from your deck in defense instead. So this is this is pretty cool. It's spell trap Rhoda, which can get you to the archetype's field spell. You can get into any of its any of the trap cards that are in the archetype. But for the most part, you're gonna end up adding the field spell, because the field spell can help you can basically help extend, which is really good. And then you get to basically, it's a free special summon from the deck. A good way to thin out the deck. So it comes as technically a pot of greed, where you're adding a card from your deck to your hand, and you're potentially special summoning a monster from your deck. So technically it comes as a pot of greed, which is pretty nice. But Dragon Links, you really don't see them get played that much anymore, because that card can be used heavily in Dragon Links. Excuse me. But again, you really don't use the field spell all that much in Dragon Links, unless if you're like searching for a rocket monster specifically. But this card can be used in Dragon Links, but again, it hasn't seen that much play in the last several years, because of the ban list. I think Guard Dragon Agapane is still banned. Pissy is still I think Pissy is now limited at 1, and the other Guard Dragon Link 1 is also limited to 1. I don't remember, but with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.